Marco?
You start?
I'll
Sean?
start. I always start. It's never a secret. What's the secret is what I ask you or say to you.
That I never know.
You never know what that is.
I have become very, very good at
you have you
like
do respond
thinking
really
on my
well.
feet really quick.
That's
because
right.
of you.
It's a little bit of improv. Yeah, forced by me.
But after 15 years that we do this together, I don't want to say we read each other's mind, but I know where you're going.
We have a feeling of what we're trying to do anyway.
But not all the time.
Not all the time. and we're not doing it now. So look at that. Even this is different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Everything is different. Well,
Everything
but we're
is
here, RSAC
We
Conference.
Are here. Exactly. And it's a good few days already, a few more coming. We knew it was going to be rooted in community, rooted in collaboration, rooted in knowledge. Didn't disappoint.
No.
We're going to talk more about that today with the ISACA team, specifically Jamie Norton. It's good to have you on. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure meeting you the other day. We had a good chat before the show. The work you and the team are doing, really good. It's important for the community, important for business, important for society, which is why Marco's on with us. Before we get into the membership of ISACA and the certifications and all the stuff that you do, maybe a few words about you, your role with ISACA, and why you're here this week. Let's talk about that too.
Yeah, so I'm lucky enough to be on the board of directors for ISACA. We're a global not-for-profit representing digital trust, so audit, cybersecurity, governance, and I've joined the board for the last since July last year, so still relatively early days for me. But I've been with ISACA, for more than 20 years now, and it's just a fantastic association, not for profit, just dedicated to helping people with their careers in these areas, in these professions.
Yeah, many people probably know ISACA for the events.
Yes,
but there's much more to it than just the events, which we'll talk about. But Marco,
Well, it's obviously the theme of this event, and even when it wasn't the theme, it was still the theme, like community. Here's many voices, one community. ISACA is a big organization, chapters all over the world, so we can talk about the global community.
And we had Marian Dushim on.
But I want to start with the skill gap, because I've been talking with Sean in this industry for about 12 years. I still hear the skill gap. And I don't know, I mean, what has it changed something? Has it improved? And what are we doing to actually make it better, if we are?
Yeah, and so from ISACA, we regularly test and survey our membership and employers to understand the state of, I guess, digital trust and the state of cybersecurity and audit and our other areas that we work with. The problem is getting worse. I think it's a combination of just not being enough cybersecurity professionals, but as we've found most recently, it's also that early stage career that we getting graduates and getting younger members into their early professions actually proving quite hard, and they're struggling a little bit to get those first roles and then their second role. So we've got this thing that we're developing around career journey. We really want to help our members with their career journey and what that looks like at each stage of their career, from early graduate all the way through to to seasoned veterans. So that really is a strong focus for us, and we at this point in time we've identified that there is definitely skills gap in that younger 2 to 3 year experience area, and we want to really help our membership to develop that through.
So maybe a few things that I've noticed. One, there was a joke years ago that was entry level with 10 years experience, which was a pretty high barrier right there. So I'm assuming there is different way to enter into the industry now. I know that there is a diversity of backgrounds that are actually welcome in the industry. So maybe you want to talk a little bit about that side.
Yeah, I mean, cyber and audit and assurance, they are very diverse industries. Increasingly, we actually value, diversity of thought, diversity of thinking. Not having everyone think the same way really contributes to that sort of breadth of our profession. So, and ISACA being a global entity, we have people from all walks of life, from all geographies in the world, and all cultural backgrounds. So we really celebrate that. But I think that getting more people into the profession, because we are seeing, there is going to be definitely a skills gap. We're seeing not enough cyber people, not enough auditors, not enough people in those governance areas coming into the profession. So there is a gap, and employers in particular, there's been a marked increase in employers asking us for those early stage career professionals. So it's that 2 to 3 year more technical discipline as well. We seem to find employers really value that ability to do some more technical roles or entry-level technical roles. So we want to focus in on with some of our new certifications on enabling that graduate to be able to pick up those skills and be able to.
And it's also an industry where you never stop learning.
Right.
This is absolutely.
So it's good to have a good head start to be able to put your hands on, but then you need to know that you got to keep building your resume, building your experience, and learning more.
It's continuous learning all the way through, and I think that's why ISACA really has starting to focus around this career journeys idea. We want to be there every step of the way, but also help our members understand, what are the pathways, what are their options at different levels for training and for certification and for experience, and really help them be that partner throughout their career journey.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm looking off to the side. I'm listening, but also looking off to the side. Somebody out in the hall there. It was the person that introduced me to ISACA.
Oh, wow.
Probably 15, 20 years ago, which is it's pretty cool. But I want to let's get down to brass tacks a bit here, because skills gap. You need to learn. You need to present yourself in a certain way as an employee. The employers, not enough people. We need to fill these roles. We define those roles in a certain way. They don't align often. So how do you view the alignment of what the skills are, how the employees gain them, how they demonstrate them, how they map to what the organizations are looking for?
Yes, I think that critical context, I guess, ISACA, we're fortunate we have 185,000 members globally and 280 chapters, as we mentioned, and we use that data and those insights to understand both what our members are being asked for and what our employees of those members are looking for in the market. So we do some data-driven analysis, obviously, across that wealth of data, and at the moment, a lot of that data is coming back and telling us it's that that early stage, more technical disciplines that are in demand, and it's an interesting time for us across many of our industries that we support, because at a macro level, the economy is not necessarily doing well in a number of jurisdictions across the globe, but cyber and audit and these other capabilities are definitely still very critical. So and growing, we're seeing growth in the demand for these jobs. So sometimes there's a bit of a two-speed sort of economy happening, but we're there to provide capability and support for those members that are at the coalface.
And as you're talking, I'm thinking there's a point where it comes together in a certification, if I'm not mistaken, right? Where I actually want to talk about the CCOA, because I think that is a way to learn and demonstrate in a way that an employer can understand somebody did this, and they can show that they are capable, or at least have an understanding. So talk to us about the CCOA and the work that's been done there.
Yeah, so our brand new CCOA, the Certified Cyber Operations Analyst, is really based on a lot of work we've done with employees and with members around what's required, and as I said, that technical discipline and hands-on experience as well. So there's a real demand particularly at that early stage career to have hands-on experience in those technical disciplines. So be able to walk into a SOC role, a SOC analyst role, or maybe a penetration test, or some of these other types of roles where you need that hands-on experience in those technical disciplines to start you off. So that's where we've gathered that feedback, and so the CCOA is very much a certification for a new graduate or someone early, a couple of years into their professional life, and it's a certification that gives them and their employer, I guess, confidence that they have those entry-level skills to be able to work on a security operations center or as a tester or other technical disciplines.
How is the dynamic of deciding? You guys sit down and say, hey, we need a new certification. Did you talk with employers and say, hey, are we lacking something here, something new in the industry? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's normally our certifications across the board are very, we have a structured approach to developing those. It starts with, really good data-driven analysis of the white space, I suppose, in the market and what employers and our membership are telling us. So that can be through surveys or direct outreach to employers and to members. So we do all of that and at scale because of ISACA's global scale. We do that across all of our geographies and get a really good sense of what's being asked for by the community and by our membership. So in this case, that's exactly what happened. And then from that point, we then also we have obviously a big staffing contingent in ISACA that works these, but we also embrace our membership to help us with the content for those certifications. So nothing's sort of done in isolation. It's all very much there's community membership driven as well, and it's the same with our CISM and our CISA certifications, our two leading certifications. There is constant and regular membership oversight of those, and we harness the experts in our community to help us develop those. So what we end up with then is a very fit for purpose, very on point certification that meets those demand areas. And in the case of CCOE, the feedback was that employers wanted those hands-on skills as much as they wanted a sort of foundational expertise as well.
Very good. And I assume the geographic location, the data are a little bit different depending where you collect them. Does it affect in the way that you actually structure the certification itself?
We certainly take that into consideration in terms of the data, but you're right. There's certain geographies will have slightly different macroeconomics, and where I'm from in Australia, for instance, we're still reasonably strong as an economy, but we're in a bit of a cautious time. People are we've experienced a bit of volatility. We haven't necessarily seen a downturn that's substantial, but there's a general concern and people are a bit unsure. So, where we're seeing that in the economy, that impacts on the professions that we support, right. And impacts on employers and what they're looking for, and I think that maybe talks to this desire around more early stage career and bringing people into the profession, because employers are looking to move down that path, perhaps rather than keep filling out the senior ranks, which is something we definitely saw come through in our surveying, that right. There's more of a desire for younger or for less experienced talent come through.
Yep.
Can you speak to the value of membership and the value of community beyond the training and the certification? To sit in an interview, right, takes a mindset and a level of confidence that not that I just passed the certification, but I am capable, right? Knowing that you're capable, knowing how to communicate that, either to get a job or to enhance your career on your journey by gaining additional certifications along the way. Can you speak to, I don't know if you have any anecdotes of the confidence ISACA brings to the person by being part of the group and being part of and getting certifications, I guess, really?
I can certainly talk to my experiences,
okay.
and I've been part of ISACA, as I mentioned, for 20 plus years, but I started my journey about 2006, and okay. Like most people, the first thing on my mind, my first engagement was around the certifications, and so I did my CISA and then my CISM fairly quickly in that sort of era, and the benefit that has been all the way through my career has been just it can't be measured. It's just an amazing foundation for everything, and even now I still have employers that request the CISM and the CISA for different elements of my career. But the confidence is one thing. I think that I think the imposter syndrome in our profession right. is very strong, and particularly when you tend to see that the figureheads and the giants of our industry are very experienced, very successful, and so coming into that you look up to them, but at the same time you aspire to be them. And I think having certifications, being able to get that experience, particularly something like a CCOA as well, where you're getting actual hands-on experience, as well as the ability to answer the quiz questions as well. I think that just adds an extra depth that you can do the work, you can do the labs, you've got those insights. So I think that can give you a level of confidence, and it's certainly helped me. And I'm a prime example. I've gone from entry level, all the way through with ISACA every step of the way of my career journey, and now I've ended up from a small country town in Australia to the director on the board. So
that's phenomenal. Yeah, and I think outside looking in, we've talked about this for many years, Marco, that there's an air of mystery around cybersecurity.
Are we going there?
I am going
I
there.
love that.
Yeah. And that only certain people have the skills and
Are
mindset.
you worthy?
Well, it goes to the imposter syndrome, right? I think the industry has done that to itself. And I love hearing these stories where people can actually get the skills, get the experience, demonstrate it, and be part of it.
And you know what?
It's not a mystery. It's
And
not
then,
magic.
and then there is the business perspective, right?
Right.
Like the other angle where I'm sure, and you can talk more about that, you have a little bit more peace of mind knowing that somebody comes in already with the right basis, the right knowledge, and then of course you can grow into what the specific of the business requires. But also I think to know that there is this support as you go. Something new happen, new threats, new business scenarios.
AI.
AI. All right,
yeah.
let's go in AI too. And knowing that there is someone that is preparing the new generation that come on, I guess. Can you speak for that?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a certain elegance at a certain stage of your career, and with the foundation that you get from ISACA certifications, where you start to back yourself in that you actually do know this stuff. And having been fortunate to work as a CISO in some very large organisations, I've firsthand experienced staff who are even mid-career staff who tell me that they're either not real cyber people or they're not technical and they can't do these certain things, and they kind of shut themselves off because we have this persona that as a cyber person, maybe it's the Hollywood persona, it's like we're hackers, or we have these massive technical skills and we're huge brains basically, and that's what we do, and we wear hoodies. So I think the ISACA element has really helped with that foundation of that not everyone has that persona. There's certainly that is a persona and there's value in those skill sets as well, but there's a whole governance piece, a risk piece, an assurance piece that is absolutely critical, and it's the language of the board too. So as you become more senior, you can let go of some of the technical skills, but you cannot let go of the risk skills. So that's an absolute foundational key to success in my view.
Yeah, I'm so glad you went there. And we'll, I think that's a good closing point, because I think we are.
We got a couple minutes more.
Do we have? Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about movies, like hackers movies. No, I can see that. I mean, the representation is like somebody just brilliantly resolve a little, like a riddle or something in a code in like 2 minutes, and I'm sure there are those people, and we need those geniuses.
We do.
But we need a lot of people that
All right,
grow in the
let's close with this then. We'll give you the final word. What's on the horizon for ISACA? And maybe a call to action for folks watching, either on their own journey, helping others on their journey, hiring people on their journey. Final message to folks.
There is so much going on right now in terms of what's on the horizon. We've just released a survey results around quantum and post-quantum cryptography. So the messaging there, or the call to action, is start looking at that now and start thinking about that today. We've got some AI certifications coming down the track as well, which are also very nice and very much at the right time for AI's evolution around audit and around security of that technology set. We have some career journey stuff we're working on as well. So I think that's going to be a fundamental game changer around really looking back to our membership. I mean, at the end of the day, we're a membership organisation, and everything we do is about members and for members. So, whether that be helping them with their education and certifications, or just helping them broadly across their careers. So, we're really focusing in on that, and I think that will be a game changer. Once that's released as well. So, we have lots happening.
Sounds like it.
I think at the end of the day, if you're not an ISACA member, there's almost certainly a local chapter that you could go along, and most of them you can head along, for nothing and see what it's all about, and then look at certifications and let's help everyone across the globe sort of get into the profession they want and succeed.
Yep, rising tide rises all boats.
That's it.
And, I think it tells a lot about the society is evolving, technology. we're afraid that certain jobs are going away, obviously with AI if we want to go there, but also other opportunities come. So it's good to have an organization that stays there and it keeps the training going and evolving with time.
We've all got to adapt, don't we? And ISACA will adapt as well as AI keeps moving and changing, and new things come in and out. So absolutely, it's all about changing and moving with the opportunities.
Right. Awesome.
I want to say we are also organizing a webinar with the team, so we'll be announcing that. So stay tuned to itspmagazine.com/webinars, and please do sign up and participate, because it's another chance for the community to engage and express what they want, and employers as well. So to join us all for a conversation.
Yep.
And I think that's it, man.
That's it.
Awesome. I mean,
we're on time. We're not going to be yelled by these guys here filming. So
there's no exit stage music going to play on it.
No, I say to stay tuned, because we're going to have many more conversations here at RSAC Conference 2025, and they can learn everything where, Sean?
itspmagazine.com/RSAC25. Stay tuned for my chat with Rob Clyde, good friend of mine from Symantec days. We're going to get a recap of this week as well. So thanks everybody. Stay tuned, subscribe, share with your friends and enemies. We'll see you soon.